In today's video, I'm going to show you a 300-pound steam iron by Tefal. The model number is GV9230. First, I'm thinking, why does an iron cost like 300 pounds? And usually we just buy something like middle of the range, maybe 30 or 40 pounds iron. I never imagined a iron will be like 300 quid. But obviously this one have professional title attached to it, so it must be good, right? All my video is not scripted, just an unboxing, my experience and how I use it, and you can be the judge of how good or how bad this is. So if you're doing your research and if you find my information useful, don't forget to share, like and subscribe to my channel. I know the brand through like cookware. So for example, they do for a non-stick coating frying pan, which I love. It makes sense because you do need non-stick coating on the actual iron itself. But what intriguing about this particular machine is, first is the price. It's 300 quid. I keep going back to that. So in America, you probably pay the same, but in dollars, I say that in most of my videos. So 299 without offer, and if you have offer, then you can get it slightly cheaper. Another confusing thing about this is that, there is not a lot of information on this particular range of iron. When I was doing my own research, I saw on the internet there are some videos showing how the product is like and stuff like that, but it's more like a sell promotion kind of video, but they didn't really go in depth into what it is, how does it work and all that. So hopefully I will cover that in my video. In terms of specification, so this is iron can do up to 7.5 bar pressure, steam pressure, 140 grams per minute of steam coming through continuously, and a burst up to 560 grams per minute of steam power. What it means is that the iron is not only like the water heating the hot plate and then turns into steam and then comes out. This one actually jets out. So thank you very much for Amazon for sending this for me for free. It shouldn't affect how I review this, even though it's a free item, because it's not from Tefal, it's from Amazon itself. It comes in a box like this, massive. Compared to obviously your normal iron, I have another new one here that I'm going to review, this one by Philips. But just look at that. Just a size comparison, and this one doesn't have professional written on the box. So this is the box, and they have other functions built in, which I will just explain to you guys. So this one have a 1.8 liter water tank, which is important because if so much steam come out, you need to have a big tank for water. Special coating from Tefal. It has a lime scale collection device. All the calcium or all the impurity is going to remain here, and they have a little device that you can actually open up and clear that from time to time. So you don't necessarily have to use like deionized water or special water in this machine. Obviously you will if you want to prolong the life of the machine. Fast heat up, so it only takes 2 minutes to get the steam start to work. Auto shut off, so if you forgot to switch it off, it will turn it off for you. Energy efficient. There's a few other things which doesn't say on the box, but on the adverts they say something like one setting for all fabrics, so you don't have to keep changing between like temperature for silk, for example, on the other spectrum like cotton. It should be one setting for all. I don't know how that works. It talks about how you wouldn't ruin your clothing because it's impossible to burn your clothing. Let's find out, because I don't really know how that works either. Out of the box, let's open it and have a look. Not a very fancy one. It's actually not even like nice hard paper, it's just soft paper. And by the way, for reference, my ironing board is nothing special. This is the cheapest one I can find. I bought it from Argos, I think, just one of the catalog store. I could have bought a nicer one and on Amazon and stuff like that, but when you buy ironing board from a delivery like Amazon, they usually break the legs and something. So I thought it's better if I just drive to Argos and pick it up from the store, because if I see it, if something broken, I just return it and ask them to give me a new one. So you got the iron head, which is attached to the cord. Now the cord is permanent, you can't unplug this. And then you got the base. My ironing board is already creaking because of the weight of the machine, so there we go. I mean, it's not particularly large, it's just heavy. And don't forget, I still need to add about 1.8 kilos of water in there if I want to have the maximum tank. Now in a lot of my other videos I always talk about the extension cord or cord. The wire is even more important in this case because most people have the iron sitting on the heat resistant rest right here. For this there's no exception because that's where I want to keep it. So let's try it. The weight of the base is already pulling it down, so for long term it's not going to do my ironing board any good, so I probably need to upgrade my ironing board. Now in terms of cord, definitely long enough to reach the floor. Okay, but if your ironing board is away from the wall, there is no chance. So plug it into extension if you need to. The first function that I use already without mentioning it to anyone is that there's a lock on the base. Basically it's a piece of plastic like a ring, half ring, that you can flip it up and down. So when you put your iron into position, and when you flip this up, it becomes like a carrying handle. You just lift the iron and the whole thing will come up. For storage reason, if you want to put this away, you can always tuck the cable into the cable tidy here. With a machine this big, you do need to think of how you can save space and all that. So they did think about that, about storage, and then obviously you still got your extension wire that you will wrap around this. The iron resting area is nothing fancy, it's just plastic, and you got some silicone feet here which is heat resistant, so even when this is hot it will sit nicely onto the base. On the side here, this is the little gadget. This is what I'm talking about. So the heating element is inside. So when the water is heated, if there is any lime scale or anything which left behind, all you need to do is untwist this cap right here. And what you will find is like a metal spoon with all the calcium deposit in the long run. And then you can just rinse this one off and put this one back in. I think it is a very clever invention, because I remember my previous iron, when I try to iron some very dark color clothing, I have to be really still and careful and try not to shake it too much, because the lime scale come out and then it stays in the fabric, which leave you like white marks all over. Okay, so in terms of the machine itself, you got a water tank in the front which you can take out, and then you can like fill it with water, so you don't have to bring the base to your water hose, so you just put it in here. And at the back of the machine is the control. So there's not much buttons here. So you got one mode button in the middle, a power button on the side, and then an OK button to confirm. And then you got normal and eco, and that's it. That's all the setting. So unlike a normal iron where you have a dial to choose like from really low temperature for silk all the way up to like cotton or nylon, those kind of things. So this one doesn't have that. And apparently you don't need to either. So what? So water tank. I got water bottle here. And remember, I just put normal water in. This is not distilled water. Okay, nowhere near the full mark, but just for demonstration, I'm sure that should be okay. Slot it back in. Okay, as soon as I click the power button, I can hear the relay which is clicked in there, and then the normal close kind of flashing. Nothing happened because I think it's just heating up now. The iron itself is lightweight, quite easy to handle. Got special coating on the back right here. And here at the handle, there's a red button underneath, which is your trigger button. Now on the box, it does say 2 minutes to heat up. So, okay, the blue light stopped flashing. So I think this is now ready. Just for my own knowledge, I got a temperature gun here. So what exactly temperature is at the coating on the iron? So this is showing 102 degrees. So on the outside of the plate is about 100. In the middle of the plate is about 140. And remember what I said, there is no adjustment whatsoever. So the lowest temperature we have on the plate is 140. Well, highest in the plate is 140. Would that burn silk? I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me. Sorry, that was a mistake. Okay, you can see that, you know, if I just press it lightly, the steam come out like a jet. But as soon as you leave your finger on for more than, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 seconds, the steam starts to die down. So it's not continuously that strong. At burst, it will be that strong. So, and mind you, the cores get hot. So I'm fully understand that, you know, the heating element is actually on the base here. The steam actually goes through this wire to your ironing head. So this one get hot. In terms of hot, how hot is this? So this is showing 32 at the moment. 34. Yeah, so this one is about 30 degrees. But obviously when you when you use this a lot, all the steam has to travel through the coil here and then it gets hot. My jeans don't really need ironing, but I just want to get some thick cotton material so you guys can see what it does. People just use like, you know, the iron, and what they do is just press down. Ooh, my God. It doesn't hurt, but it's just like surprise of how much steam actually comes out on the side. So what happened is the steam, instead of going through the material, it comes out from the side. So let me press on it harder. Yep, that's better. So if you force it down and press the button at the same time, the steam actually goes through the fabric, and actually it goes through both legs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 layers of diamond, and definitely wet underneath as well. So I think the steam go all the way through the materials that you're ironing, through the ironing board, and the other way out. That's how strong I think it is. If you don't press the steam button, this is just like a normal iron. But as soon as you press the steam button, it becomes a different animal altogether. Just now it was like 140, it remains 140 in the middle. Now I'm not going to sacrifice my trousers just to show you guys if it burns stuff or not, but I do have a towel here. If I just leave the iron on top here at 140 degrees, we'll recook the cloth. And this is on normal mode, and the only other mode that you have is ECO. Slightly warm on the side here, but nothing major. So the heating element is on the right bottom here. I think that's what it means from the manufacturer say that it won't burn your clothing, because the plates only get up to 140 degrees. Majority of the work is done by the hot steam which comes through when you press the button. Yeah, so for cotton material or anything that can withstand up to 140 degrees, even if you leave the iron on, it's not going to burn. But obviously, if it is more than any material which melt below 140, then yeah, it will get burned. Okay, here's the two experiments for you guys. Yeah, this is a close-up of the ironing head. I got a piece of tea towel here, and it's double layered. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press and push some steam through this. Look, if I press it down hard so the steam doesn't escape from the side of the iron, if I press, so most of the steam actually goes through the fabric. That is what you want. It disinfect it, help to put the softening the material, and then the iron will help to iron out all the creases. But if we go underneath the board, okay, let me just focus on there. And then if I do the same thing but with the thing pointing on top here, you can see I can actually see like steam coming out, actually water coming off, because the steam is coming off the board here, condensed on the cold metal, and then the water is coming out. So this is how powerful the steam is coming through your ironing board. I'm sure some of the iron on the market will do the same thing, but this one just keep doing it and doing it and doing it as a yeast. Oh my God, let me stand back a little bit. this is going to be my new toy. If I need to, like, you know, steam anything, you can actually do it in mid-air and just, like, you know, through the garment. Anyway, the machine, as you can see, this is the side of the machine, and this is the lock I was talking about. So you can always rest it on, push it on, and that locks it in place. It's like a safety feature, so no one can take it off the base. Unlock it, and that's the tank. In terms of the control, this is all you got. There's no dials, buttons, or anything like that. There's only 1, 2, 3 buttons. So this is the power on and off. This is the mode. This is okay. At the moment it's on normal. I need to read the instruction manual, but to be honest with you, I will just stick it on normal. So the iron on top, you got an indicator here, which is flashing blue. Usually that means that it's not ready yet. When it's like kind of a solid color blue, then that is ready. Oh, there's a bird in my garden. Oh, got distracted. Oh, there's 2 birds in my garden. Anyway, I think for me, one of the major downside is actually the size of this thing. I mean, I got a relatively large iron board here. Even though it's a cheap one, it's just about managed to take its weight and the size. But if I lift it, if I lift this up and put it on the floor maybe. Let's say if you don't have the space and you want to lift this thing on the floor, and then just bring on the ironing head. So this cord can only go as far as this. So if you have this underneath your board in the middle, let's say like right here, and you have the cord, and you can use it, put it on your heat resistant side of the ironing board, and you should still be able to use it from the base all the way to the tip. And when you finish, you can rest it here like that. So it works as well, but it's just like, you know, a bit bulky. So here we go, £299 from Amazon. Is it worth it? Well, if you do a lot of ironing and you need quite a powerful iron to make your job easier or faster, then yes. I have never seen an iron which make that much steam before, like a standalone one. But again, I mean, I'm sure there is other on the market with a base like this which is professional, can do the same, but at least you can see for yourself. This is from Tefal. There's about 6 or 7 different models that I have seen which has this within the same range, basically a different color. The base might be slightly different. I think up until 3 years ago, the model, you have a different setting here. This latest one doesn't have that anymore. It's just one mode for all your garment. So thank you very much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time with more interesting gadget. Bye bye. Oh my god, let me stand back a little bit. This is going to be my new toy.